And I'll cover what does equal value when we get to the end of this presentation. So to start off, work does not equal value. Your value, whenever you do this, has almost nothing to do with how much effort or work you put into it. In what we do here, leads are intangible, right? Even information is intangible. So people do not know how to value intangible information. You have to teach them, and that's the big point. So I want you to write that down. Whenever you're selling an intangible service, you teach them how to value that intangible service, because no one knows what a lead is worth right off the bat, right? So you do that. Now there is an obstacle. Whenever you're selling a service, another key point to remember is this: your customers don't want it. They want the result. No one wakes up in the morning and says, I wish I could just have an SEO guy, right? I wish I could have Ipe do my SEO. They wake up wanting the result. So you have to understand from their point of view, they don't want to buy leads, they want to buy the result. So whatever it is you're selling, whether it's leads, they don't want to buy a Weebly site or a Snap site, they want to buy the results. So understand from your customer's point of view, it's an obstacle. And again, this comes down to the concept which we've talked about the last few weeks, actually last week, which is the concept of pillow talk, right? So pillow talk is no one wakes up middle of the night saying, oh, I wish I could just have someone do my SEO for me, right? They're talking about the result. Whatever that is, that comes down to doing that customer avatar exercise for your clients. Now, what we want to do whenever we're selling an intangible service is we want to build as much value as possible. And that comes down to the two frames at which they see your value and you see your value. So there's two frames. There's the frame of how you look at what you're offering, and this will all make sense as we go through this. And then there's the frame that your client looks at, how they're deciding what you're worth, right? And there's also how you decide what you're worth. Okay? So, and if you guys have any questions, pop it in the chat, because this will work better interactively. So here are the offer frames, and I'm going to erase this real quick.
Oh, you need a new eraser, Mike.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you're screwed.
Oh, good thing I'm a pro, and I came with this handy thing right here. So
you brought that.
Oh, yeah, I brought that. Wow, now, that's a pro move. That should not work. Look at that. Right off.
Oh, wow.
Can you get me a paper towel?
Yeah, you know what, Mike? Get that. Let me go get that for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
So we're going to get rid of that. All right. It's a little dirty. All right, so it's a little dirty, but we got a paper towel coming. Professor Mike in the building. Here we go. So that should be good enough. Oh, thank you, Dan.
Yeah, you know what? Here to serve. Here to serve.
Coming.
Let me get this for you, Mike.
Wow, what incredible service. That is impressive.
Yep, no problem, Mike.
All right, so here we go. I'm going to write this down. These are what I call the offer frames, right?
Oh, I like this. This is good.
This is really good.
And by the way, just while he's doing this, we're going to have all the slides for you guys from this, so you guys don't have to write everything down. You should write it down still, because it helps you log it in your hard drive there. But we'll have all this stuff for you after. We'll post a link, and you can download it. If you can't download the link, figure it out.
That how hard you work does not equal your value. That's frame number one. Frame number two is time does not equal your value. The frame number three is your credentials and experience does not equal your value. And then we have stuff does not equal value. And I'll cover what does equal value when we get to the end of this presentation. So to start off, work does not equal value. Your value, whenever you do this, has almost nothing to do with how much effort or work you put into it. So why do we have this, right? We have this because at the end of the day, society has ingrained in our head that you work for money. There's this idea that it's noble. I think it comes from the Puritans, right? That hard work equals value. And a lot of us have guilt that if we make money too easily, that is an issue, right? At the end of the day, hard work does not equal value, okay? So there's two ways you have to think of this. Number one is if you guys are selling a Snap site, right? If it takes you an hour and you don't work very hard, it does not mean that that site isn't valuable, right? I see this all the time. Also, if your client is looking at their offer frame, if they're looking at the work that you've done and they go, wow, this guy did it in an hour, it's not value, like they didn't work very hard for it, therefore it's not valuable, that's not the right frame you want them looking for it. If it's a website that can make them an extra, like let's say their client value is 5,000 and that little Snap site you put up for them lands them an additional one client a month. Over 12 months, that's an additional $60,000 for them. That little Snap site that took you 1 hour to build for them, right? So you have to get it out of your head that how hard you work does not equal the value that you deliver for your client.